Tell our viewers a little bit about Kash Patel. He, viewers, is an integral part of Team Trump. He is a Trump loyalist. He's the 9th director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. In fact, he started his career in 2006 as a public defender in Florida. And from 2006 to 2014, he then served as a trial attorney in the U.S. Department of Justice. From 2014 to 2017, this is where he gained significant experience as far as national security is concerned. But his political rise came when he became the senior counsel on counter-terrorism for the House Intelligence Committee in 2017, where he had a big role in probing the alleged Russian interference in 2016, in fact, US presidential election. Let's listen in to this reaction that we've got for you.
President Trump has more of his team in place today than any president has had at this point since 2001. And we've done this despite obstruction by Democrats. Every nominee has received a fair process, as promised, and the Senate will continue to keep its foot on the gas until President Trump's cabinet table is full. Mr. President, later today, the Senate will vote to confirm Kash Patel to be director of the FBI. Mr. Patel will lead the nation's primary federal law enforcement agency at a critical time.
And joining us on the broadcast this evening is Ambassador Harsh Shringla, who in fact is the former Finance Secretary of India, and there is nobody better than Ambassador Harsh Shringla, who understands the Trump administration because he was in the US during Trump 1.0, and he's joining us live right now. Good evening, sir. Thank you very much for speaking with us here on Times Now. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. It's a big news. You know, social media is reacting with a lot of memes and everything. But I want to understand from you, because you understand Trump administration quite well. What does this appointment of Kash Patel as the director of the FBI mean for India? How significant is this?
Well, it's tremendous news because, you know, there was always some doubt about whether, Kash Patel would be confirmed by the Senate. There was a fair amount of opposition to his candidature, from the Democrats, and the vote was a very close one. But the fact that he was confirmed by the Senate and that it represents 100% confirmation of Trump nominees so far, by the Senate process is itself quite a statement. And Kash Patel, of course, as you pointed out, has been seen as being close to President Trump. He's had a lot of experience in different parts of the U.S. government, from the Department of Defense to the National Security Council to, to working within the Congress Intelligence Committee itself. And of course, he's had a lot to say about, the FBI and the U.S. agencies' handling of matters mainly political. For India, I think it's a matter of great pride that someone who's of Indian origin, even though he's a second generation, American, his father immigrated from Uganda in the 1970s and went to first Canada and then to the United States. But they have maintained close links. There are strong ties that bind him and his family to India and to Indian traditions, as was very evident during his Senate hearings. Also, his parents were there, his family was there. He was, very, very conscious of his Indian roots, and he was proud of being a Hindu. And from that perspective, I think he obviously, his appointment comes as a matter of great, I would say, satisfaction and, I would say, happiness in India. And that meme that you just pointed out, the audiovisual clip by Don Scavino says it all. I mean, it's like a victory celebration. Of course, you would know, and it's interesting that the same clip, which was from the movie Bajirao Mastani, was used when Trump was coming to India in 2020. And, there was a impersonation of Trump, with Ranveer Kapoor at that time. And there was a similar clip there. But it's a great way to show how people, are celebrating his appointment.
Well, that's
and I think it's a great...
Yes, that's a very important and interesting point you have made. And, when we also started the show, Ambassador Shringla, we also said that Welcome, Kash Patel, Trump's Bajirao. Will it be the right word to use for him? And
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a great way to put it across, because you can see that he's close to Trump. Trump is fond of him, and not only that, I think he's stuck by Trump in very difficult time, right from 2016, when the FBI had a surveillance authorized on Trump. He challenged that authority. He said that it was based on false information that the FBI got the surveillance order from the courts, and from then onwards, I think he has always legally stood by Trump in various cases, including the 6th of January 2021 Capitol Hill process. So from that point of view, he's close, and not only that, he's always had a run-in with the agencies, with the FBI, with the CIA. I think from his point of view, there's a lot of reform that could take place. And Trump also, I think, believes that the deep state needs to be whittled down, that they need to do the work that they're here to do and not become politicized. And if you notice that in his book, Government Gangsters, Kash Patel talks about moving FBI headquarters out of Washington, D.C. He says those 7,000 people who work in the FBI headquarters should be better used to chase criminals across America than to sit in D.C. So he has a different mindset, and he's going to take that broom and sweep a lot of the FBI's, I would say, a lot of their personnel out, and he's going to do a lot of cleaning act in that case.
Okay. One last question before we let you go, Ambassador Schindler. There was a lot of resistance as well, because if you see the final voting, 51, I believe, were in favor, 49 against. So what do you make of that?
Well, I believe 2 Republicans also didn't vote for him, but clearly he got the vote of a Democrat, and that, I think, neutralized the advantage that the Democrats were seeking. So it was a very close vote, but not as close as RFK Jr., which was 50-50. Vice President J.D. Vance had to exercise his casting vote to get him nominated. In this case, it was 51-49, if I'm not mistaken. And so he also scraped through, but that's all that matters. He's been confirmed by the Senate, and he's now officially the director of the FBI, one of the biggest and most important agencies in the U.S. government, with 30,000 employees, and he's at the head of it. So great kudos to him, and I think matter of, as I said, great pride for all of us in India.
All right, Ambassador Schindler, thank you very much for speaking with us here on Times Now. And with this, we will slip into a very, very short break. We'll be back with lots more. Stay with us.